Welcome back, guys, to Road to October. This is my weekly series where I take my journey between now and Halloween. This is episode number 11, so let's see what we get into this week. Another Saturday morning. So I got my other three walls built. I got the panels put on, and now I'm in the process of removing the panels, getting the rust spots painted on, and then I'm going to do the whole Vaseline latex paint, that whole situation that we did last time. I'm not going to record that because there's no sense of showing it to you again. But anyway, that's what we're doing today. We're going to get these three walls painted up, and then we'll get them all assembled. So last year after Halloween at my grocery store, they had these short circuit string of lights on clearance. I got them for $3.59 and I bought 3 of them. But anyway, I thought these would be kind of cool to incorporate into the elevator. We're going to hack these a little bit. So right now I'll hit this try me button. And they light up and they flicker, and it's short circuit, but it has, I don't understand why it has the thunder sound effect. But anyway, I thought these things would be pretty cool to use in the elevator in the ceiling. The only problem is these things run off of 3 AA batteries, and I want to convert this over to an actual power supply. So that's what we're doing, or what we did actually. I've already did this. This is actually my second attempt. The first batch I have here, I did the same thing on, and I have this power supply that I got from Goodwill. And you see, if you see it on there, it says 4.5 volts, 1.5 amp. And like I said, these things run off of 3 AA batteries. And if you didn't know, a AA battery is 1.5 volts. This is the one that came out of it, and I think it says somewhere on here. Yeah, anyway, AA battery is 1.5 volts. They're ran in series, so if you add 3 of them up, you're at 4.5 volts, which is exactly what this was, right? At the time, my multimeter battery was dead, so I couldn't test it. And I just assumed that it was correct. Well, long story short, I hooked it up to this thing and I smoked it. Once I got a battery in my multimeter, I put it on here, and it was reading 7 amps. See, it's almost 7.5 amps. So it was too much for this little circuit board, and it smoked it. So anyway, here we have the guts of the inside, and this is really easy to do. Basically, on the back side of where the batteries is, the contacts, and I'm going to put these batteries back in real quick, and we'll put the multimeter on this and check the voltage, just so I'm not feeding you full of shit that these are. Whoops. Okay. So there's that. Multimeter, I think you can see that. See, a little over 4.5 volts. Okay. So now, pull these batteries out. Power supply, my second power supply that I have is here, and this one's a little bit harder to read, but we'll focus in on that. This one, you can see right there, is 5 volts, 1.5 amps. That's pretty damn close to 4.5. So let's plug this one in. I already got it soldered to the 2 connections here. And if I did this right, there you go. And that is plugged into the wall adapter, the wall wart. So that's going to work out really good for my elevator. The next thing, I got 12, I think there's 12 lights here, and I'll work this into some type of ceiling grid. The other thing I need to do is get rid of all this junk. These are the speakers. I don't want that sound effect. I'm just going to get rid of the wires for the speakers, and also the try me button and the photo cell thing for the motion sensor. So anyway, I hope that's useful to you guys. If you ever find something that runs off of AA batteries, you can convert it over to run it off a wall wart. And while I have it plugged in, just to show you guys, you can still see that. Right, that's right at 5 volts. That was a 5 volt 1 amp power supply. So anyway, so I went ahead and pulled all the crap that we didn't need off the back of the case here, and unsoldered all the wires and everything off that little circuit board. So now we're just left with the wires that we need. So that's it. All I gotta do is put the case back on. I use my soldering iron to put a little notch there for the power cord now. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it. So I can fish my wires in there and screw it back together, and we're good to go. And as you can see, the lights still do their flickering effect, which is what we're going for. So yeah, I think this will work out well. So that first string of lights that I burned up the circuit board on, I went ahead and I took that string of lights and I basically daisy chained it onto this other one. So now I got a set of 24 lights, and they all work. So I don't know if I'm going to actually need or use all 24 lights, but it's nice to have extras just in case you need it. So yeah. We'll see what we're going to do with these with the elevator now. So that is the rest of the panels to be painted. Got the rest of them over here stacked up. Once those ones out there are dry, then I can start putting them on my walls here and stand them up in the yard, and then start doing the wash coat. Hello. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this weekend. Good to get all these done, and now I'll be able to put the walls up and then start working on the ceiling and everything and all that fun stuff. So oh, I got the doors I still gotta tackle too, but once I get the walls put up, and then I can mount the doors and everything, then take those back down and do the painting on that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Alright guys, so this is the video that I've been working on to display in that monitor that I have in the elevator, which basically shows the back wall of the elevator shaft. And as you can see, I have it starting going up in the very beginning because the airbags are going to inflate when everybody's on it, and so it's going to give you a sense of it rising up. So we're going to go up a little bit, and then we're going to basically go down the elevator shaft. So I'm not going to go through all the super details of how I made this video, but I'll give you the highlights of it, and then down the road, if people really want to know the in-depth stuff of how to do it, I'll certainly do that if there's interest. So anyway, that's the video I've been working on, and I'll show you some of the stuff that went into it. So basically I started with an image. I went on Google image search and just found an image of a brick wall, and this image actually started out to be just a typical 1920 by 1080 size, pixel size, because that's the standard size for a 1080 monitor. So basically I took this image and I mirrored it down, so I flip-flopped it. So the top half is mirrored to the bottom half, and that doubled the size or the height of this image. So now it's 1920 by what's double 1080? That's like 2160, something like that. So and then I added these lights and stuff like that, and I put a little shading here. So basically this image is continually scrolling up, where it'll scroll up and then it'll start down here at the bottom and just keep going up. So I put that image into Sony Vegas, and I wish I had the original file when I made the scrolling part of it, but I did it over a year ago and I can't find it. But I had the video, the actual video of the scrolling already done, so that portion was already done. So, but yeah, basically you take that image, you would import it into your video editing program. And what I did was I used this TV simulator, and it has this thing where it loops, and you take all the other, back off all the other effects on it, just so you get the image rotating continually. So I imported that video into the program here, and then there is a thing for insert video envelope and event velocity. So that's just as it sounds. You can start with your, like I said, I had a video of it just constantly scrolling up or scrolling down, whichever way. And by using the event velocity, you can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can reverse it, you can make it come to a dead stop, and that's what I did here. If you see this green line, that is my velocity. See right here, the velocity. If I were to move this, you can see right there it says 0%, so that means it's at a dead stop. So basically, as it plays through here, it stopped. Now it's scrolling up. I know the quality isn't very good. It's going to stop again, and then it's going to start going down the elevator shaft. So basically, that's how the movement of the video works. After that, I started editing or putting in sound effects, and what I like to do is go into YouTube and just find different sound effects. And I made a playlist, and some of them I used, some of them I didn't. I got stuff like metal screech sounds, eerie grate, like metal gates and stuff like that. Roller coaster was a good one for the the clunking as it goes down. I couldn't find a good elevator sound, so roller coaster was a really good one, and things like that. So those were where I found my sound files to plug in to my video here. So I know not everybody's going to have access to something like Sony Vegas, but I'll give you a tip that members of, you saw this here earlier, pulled up here earlier, members of Pandemic Cemetery, Dead with Dave, you may or may not be, if you're a subscribed member, you may or may not be able to go in here and download certain video editing programs in order to make something like this. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, I'm not going to go into great detail, but if there is interest and people want more information on how I went about doing it in detail, leave a comment down below, and I'll certainly make another video of that. So anyway, that's it for the video portion of it, and I can't wait to get this thing loaded into the TerraTech board and see how all this stuff plays out. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Road to October. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe and all that jazz. If you have questions or want to know where I get stuff or how I do something that I don't show during these episodes or these videos, feel free to ask a comment in the comments down below. I have no secrets to hide, and be more than happy to share with you guys what I know or what I found. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you in another week. I just spit right on the camera lens there. But anyway, bye.